Welcome. I'm Harmony Slater, your host of the Finding Harmony podcast. Over the past 20 years, I've taught thousands of yoga teachers and students to explore the intersection between ancient wisdom and modern everyday life, using mind-body practices to heal, awaken, and manifest their dreams from the inside out. This podcast is a sanctuary for those feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Are you ready to jump in and discover how these challenges aren't actually in the way, but are the way to finding harmony? Let's invite the magic back in. What if the wisdom you're seeking isn't outside of you at all? It's not found in some cave or some practice or some guru or teacher, but it has been hidden within you. It's the very symbols, the stories, the dreams, and the synchronicities that have been trying to get your attention all along. That's what we're talking about today with our guest, Karina La Puma, who is an author, an intuitive guide, a Reiki master, and the creator of something called the Toolkit for Awakening series. She has literally spent decades of her life weaving together the work that she does with tarot, astrology, mythology, psychology, as well as other spiritual practices and the hero's journey. She brings all of these things into a practical path for self-discovery that empowers people to trust their own inner knowing. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it? What I really appreciate about Karina's work is that she doesn't use tarot to predict the future, but instead she's teaching about the archetypal images that can become sort of supernatural or psychic aids because they actually mirror and help us understand ourselves more deeply. They are there to illuminate the unconscious patterns and help us to reconnect with the internal guidance system that is already living within us. And so Karina has a new book called Awakening Magnetic Creation, Manifesting Your Dreams. And this book explores how we consciously participate in reality, that we are literally co-creating everything about our lives and everything that we're perceiving, and how intuition can become stronger when we learn to listen and notice what's happening both internally and around us rather than trying to control or force the world to bend to our will. And I think you will enjoy this conversation. It's fun. We have a little tarot reading. We talk about different ways that people connect to intuition, and I hope it encourages you to continue to trust yourself more fully and to gently release those stories that are no longer serving you, and to listen to how your soul is trying to speak to you. Hello, welcome to the Finding Harmony podcast.
This is your host, Harmony Slater, and your co-host, Mr. Harmony Slater. What a pleasure to meet our guest today, Karina La Puma, who is studying Italian. Is that because you are Italian?
Yeah, my grandparents actually. And we're becoming citizens.
Oh, are you fresh off the boat? Like how far, how long have your grandparents been here?
Well, my grandparents came when they were young, but I'm not really a citizen yet, but we're in the process and we've been accepted. So
that's amazing.
The whole family is going to be dual citizens. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I have it.
That's so exciting. Where's your family from?
The La Pumas are Sicilian, and my mother's family was Calabrese, which is around Naples.
Fantastic.
Southern Italian, for sure.
Southern Italian.
Yeah, you're going to go to the heat.
I don't know where we'll land, but some of my nieces will move there, for sure.
Where did you all settle in the States when you came over from?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. near Philly?
No, near Erie and 40 miles from Erie and 90 miles from Pittsburgh. So a small town. The railroad went to there, and that's how they landed, I think.
Wow. And what did your parents do for work?
They had a restaurant and a bar, so it was like food and, that kind of thing.
Was it Italian?
Yeah, it was Italian for sure.
And so how did you embark on this journey where you became like a spiritual guide and you have your own beautiful tarot deck?
I was just, curious. There's got to be more than this. And what's it all about? Who am I? And when I was like in my 20s, I picked up a moon book and I was going to everybody and finding out who they were and their emotional base, their nature. Then I studied astrology and the tarot and I really wanted to be an intuitive. I wanted to really help people. And that is not my desire now, and then I became a scribe. I wrote and wrote and wrote, and I wrote volumes of, I already have 11 books written, but I wrote volumes before that. And writing for me was about learning. I was a good synthesis. I felt like I was putting it in my mouth, chewing it, and bringing it out again. So my books are a lot about synthesis. And I have a series called A Toolkit for Awakening. And I have my first book, which was called Awakening Female Power. It was published in 1990, revised to fit into the series.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, wow.
This is my tarot book, which is Awaken to Tarot. And this took 30 years to write.
Wow.
I studied, and then 5 years into it, I researched, and then I thought, this is way ahead of me. This is beyond me. I put all those notes, paper notes, not computer notes, put them in a file, and 30 years later, I was ready to synthesize and put this book. And I bring in astrology, numbers, and the tree of life in a synthesis. And then my tarot deck, and I have two of the sizes. So
yeah,
I was working with my assistant and we created a digital deck.
Oh, nice.
It was a wonderful process, really.
Before we got on, you showed us some of the cards, and I wonder if you could show the audience again some of the ones that you showed us. Like the Empress was amazing, the Hanged Man was so interesting.
The Hanged Woman,
actually, but the Death was so beautiful. They were just so lovely. Did you have a designer, or did you spend time drawing these out?
No, I just searched and tried to find pictures. Okay, so they were right here. The ones we picked, this is one of my favorites. It's not on top. This is one of my favorites, which was top. The Star card. So it was the Aquarian age. Okay, let me see if I can find that one. Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh, that's nice.
It's a great show. My dad, when I was very young, when I was 4 or 5, he made a painting of the star for my mom. My mom loved the tarot, you're saying, if I'm pronouncing it right. And it was very important to her at the time in the late 70s. She was very much into it. Harmony and I had a little argument about this yesterday, whether you should sleep with the tarot deck underneath your pillow. My mom said that you should always have it to sleep with. And Harmony doesn't think that's true.
I never heard of that.
Oh, you didn't?
I told you it was made up.
What these cards represent to me, they represent, this is an integration of life. And that this is a book without being bound. And the 22 major arcana cards, this is my death card, represent the major principles in life. Then we have the 4 suits, which represents, the cups represent water, and discs represent physical and financial, swords mental, and wands into perception, the fire. So the 4 elements. And then we have all the lessons to learn. And so this is really, they could be used as a meditation. So if you wanted to bring in a principle, some people could sleep with it or put it on their altar. And in my book, I have questions to answer because this is a path of integration. And I feel like you can be your own guide with these. So I'll just open a page. I open to the Ace of Disc, which is, the pictures are in the book.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one, so we have a commentary, a quote, a commentary. Then we have where they are in this astrology and where they are in the tree of life and a summary, and then how to contemplate, and then questions, and then an affirmation. So they can really be used. So if your mother was sleeping with them,
Yes.
that could be that she wants to invoke or bring that manifestation of that quality into her life.
She suggested that it would imbue the tarot deck with your own personal energy.
Yeah.
And then when you use the deck, it would have a very kind of it would be much more attuned to your energy when you lay the cards down.
Yes. I mean, I've had some people that, wouldn't let anyone touch their deck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that only you are supposed to touch your deck, but I don't know if I believe
I
it.
don't, and then I believe that I can shuffle as much as you can shuffle because basically we're one, it doesn't matter who.
I like to pull a tarot card every morning to kind of like ask the question, what do I need today? Or what's my focus? And today I pulled the Ace of Swords.
That's great. Ace of Swords. Aces are excellent. They're the beginning, and they belong in the crown of the tree of life. And the ace is something new wants to be starting. So this is an idea, a new idea, a creative project, a writing. So it's a beginning, and it's like yay! It's a really positive energy. Now, I find that I always pick 3.
Oh, do you?
Pick body, mind, and my emotions. And then I would leave them on the dresser in the morning, and then I would go about my day, and then my day would teach me the cards.
Did you have a kind of maybe a guide for your intuition when you were young? Did you have someone that you kind of leaned on when you were a young girl who you knew was also intuitive and someone that you aspired to?
Well, I had imaginary playmates when I was little, and I was shy and kind of quiet, and didn't really identify with the family that I was with. I was more. They're all strong, bossy. I'm bossy too, but and when I was young, I was the youngest, so the one did. I got the junk jobs.
Yeah.
You got bossed around the most.
Rock roll down.
But I also played it, I remember. I developed into a pleaser. I have a book called Awaken from the Pain Body, and it's about 14 emotional patterns and how we're conditioned to take a role and to be, how do we survive in our family?
Mm-hmm.
I've never even published one book. How does someone go about, you said you've published 11 now? How did the first ones start?
Writing was a tool for me. It was like, do you journal? Do you have a journal?
Yeah, I do. But you've actually had someone publish the book and create multiple copies of it and sell them. Like, I can't even imagine that. Like, how does that happen?
My first book, Awaken, the feminine book, Awaken Female Power, I had great endorsements on that book. And I was young and I was a go-getter at that time. Now I'm working very strongly because these books piled up and they sat on my coffee table and I looked at them. And I enjoyed making them. I put 200 photographs in them. They have pictures with memes so that you can read the book on different levels.
Oh, yeah. Wanting or longing sends out a vibration that something is missing.
Oh, that's nice.
Want is a 4-letter word, they say. You're supposed to have desire something.
Yeah.
What book was that one from?
This is a book I'm publishing now, June, and it's called Awaken Magnetic Creation. I changed the cover, but it's similar.
Mm-hmm. Manifest Your Dreams.
This is about magnetic creation. And this is a book that that is my feature book now. And learning to manifest is something that we have. So I wrote this book, someone called it encyclopedic, because I spent one whole chapter with quotes from the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Bible, to all the way up. People are telling us that we have creative power. So that's the first thing to know. And then I had to convince myself because it's not taught in schools. And so then the New Thought movement came in the 19th century. And that was all about, started with the science of mind. It started with healing the body through the mind. And now, that's the really first thing to notice. But the difference between magnetic creation and regular creation is that you have to learn to be magnetic. And magnetic is the goddess energy. All my books are based on the goddess warrior on the hero's journey. And the hero's journey is what Joseph Campbell wrote in 1949. He spent 5 years in a cabin during the Depression and collected hundreds and hundreds of myths and wrote this formula, which is 17 steps. And this is about how we separate from the past, follow 6 initiations, and give back to the world. And so magnetic creation is what I call crossing the threshold. When you learn that you have the power to create, you're in another realm. That is another threshold, another timeline. And magnetic is the goddess and creation is the warrior. And in the initiations, those are the cosmic code or the directives that you have. And I'd like to offer, I have a cosmic code as a gift in my website.
Okay.
I have 10 transformational steps for flow and fulfillment.
That's
okay.
extremely kind of you.
How can people find it?
My website is soul-source.org. But if that's too complicated, my name is Karina, KLA, and then the Puma.com.
Yeah, they're both easy. soul-source.org or klapuma.com.
Well, I'm still interested. If we could just go back for a moment. You talk about manifesting, and I feel like I do spend a lot of time positively thinking about constructs, whether it's a painting show or a book or a yoga career. But how do you get from manifesting and positive imaging to you actually publishing a book? You said that you were a go-getter. Did you just send out your manuscripts to a bunch of different houses like Hay House or things like that? Like, how did it become manifested?
Okay. It was easy for me to write, but it took me, I'm old. I think I'm an elder. I just want to say I'm an elder, and I have been writing for a while, but I've been working on the light worker wound or the persecution wound or the witch wound, whatever you want to call it. It was a process for me that I wrote one book and then it turned into another, and then I wasn't done. I was on the hero's journey and it took me a while. But I had those books piled up, but I wrote this book, Awaken Magnetic Creation, in 2018, and I pressed the button. I didn't know I did. So it was published and I didn't know it. So I have it's coming out now. That's 6-8 years. So I had a block in coming out, fear. It was unconscious. I used to sit in my living room and feel like there was this glass mound in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently I'm publishing, and I was chasing my cat out at night, and I live in, near nature, and
Yeah.
I broke an ankle. So there I was, like moving forward, and the universe said, stop. Now, did I do that?
Right.
And I'm an astrologer, so I looked at different charts, and this was a soul question. It affected my soul chart more than my personal chart.
Wow.
But so, we have unconscious barriers or memories that keep us down in some way.
Unconscious patterns, like we create a situation in the real world that's going to like mirror back that unconscious pattern to us.
You're light workers too, and they say that even if you don't have this personal memory, that there's an aspect that there's a force in nature that is keeping the light down. But the light is so bright that we're going to make it.
Well, I hope so, because I feel like I do have a lot to give, but I just can't seem to get anything published or shown. Did you just send your manuscript out to a lot of different publishers?
I've been self-publishing, but I'm telling you, it's not as hard now. And this is really an interesting thing with AI. You could talk into it, and it can become a co-creator.
Seems like you could just feed it info and it'll write a novel for you.
And you could feed it in messy, and it comes out with, thoughts, just random thoughts. So, I don't know about being in school and teaching children how to write, because there's help now. But anyway.
But don't you find, I think like AI has a particular tone about it. Like I can always tell when someone's writing an email and they've used AI, or you get attuned to the way that AI speaks, and nobody really speaks that way. Like we're not like, this is going to help you to do this, like we're not all like patiently, quietly holding our obstacles inside, or like nobody speaks like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's a tone to it.
There's like a percussive
there's a cadence to it.
Percussive cadence to its speech.
Like it's this, but not this. But
they can help with brainstorm ideas, though.
Yes, I like it for those things, like having it be a tool or an assistant. But I'm cautious of how much we're giving over to it, because I think we're becoming like not our creative powers, and our like connection to source energy is kind of becoming a little bit dulled by it when we're looking to that thing to be creative or connect to source for us in a way, but rather than channeling it through ourselves. What do you think?
It's like Pluto. There's intense power, and it can be the good or the bad. And and it takes an enormous amount of electricity, and there's these centers, and so yes, I don't think it should go wild and crazy, but it's here and it's there, and it's an amazing tool. And I learned to write, and if someone just used it, never learned to write, but it can help you. It can help you in the idea of when you're stuck on what do I do about, like, how do I turn off the do not disturb sign? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Sedna is one of the planets in the heavens, and it is in the Kepler belt. It's one of the dwarf planets.
Mm-hmm.
And Sedna is the outermost one that we've discovered, and it symbolizes spiritual destiny, and it has a horrible myth about surrender and abandonment, and it has an orb of 11,600 years. So in Sedna's world, we are 6 months old, and that shows us that we have a lot of maturing to do. But it basically, when Sedna went into Gemini, which was recently, AI just went crazy. And that is the question, that question is it good? Is it bad? It's going to take jobs away. They say that people will have more time, but it's
certainly unemployment will lead to more time. Yeah. I want to know, do people come to you and ask for readings? Do you have a place where people can come and say, I have a question and I need help? And how do people come to you and what does that look like for you?
Well, I've been doing astrology since 1979. So I'm an astrologer and I use the dwarf planets and I also use the draconic chart, which is, the soul's chart as I like to look at that. I've studied Vedic, but they call me a minnow because I'm really a Western astrologer. And then my gift is tarot because I've been using it for a while and I can answer a question. People can come to my home or we do it on Zoom. Most of my clients are on Zoom.
Oh, they reach out to you and they contact you and then
on my
what
website.
Do they do when they get on? They say, well, this is the time that I have and I'm really grateful that you're here and this is the question that I have. And then do you do a drawing for them? Do you do the whole...
You have a question? I'll do it for you right now.
Yeah, he has a question.
I do?
Yeah.
I have a question?
Yeah.
Oh.
You could ask about publishing your book. You could ask about winning the art competition.
Well, okay. Well, I'm cautious. I'm in an art competition and I'm very hesitant to continue going forward with it. I feel like maybe I'm throwing good money after bad and I'm concerned about this process now. I'm very anxious, actually.
Okay, so in this process, I got the 4 of Wands. So this is a fire thing. And her finger is stuck in that circle of illumination. So this tells me in this process, you are ending one phase and beginning a new phase.
Yes.
You're completing something and initiating something new. So you're in that transitional space right now. So should you continue? This tells me you should continue, but so your mind is split. Your mind this is Saturn in Libra, which is exalted there, but there's 3.
The 3 of Swords.
3 of Swords, conflict so one mind says this and another mind says this. The mind is not aligned. And when I was telling you, I always pick 3. Go one, 3. I'm going to pick one more. But I'm saying that the first one is your physical. In the physical world, you're ending one phase, beginning a new. In the mental, you're not aligned. There's sorrow, conflicted.
That's right.
There's a hesitation, a resistance. And in your emotional nature, it says this is the 8 of Disc, which is Sun in Virgo, and she has a shawl on her, and it represents the tree behind her has coins, and the trees are protecting it. So this particular card says that emotionally, there's a sense of being cautious, careful, practical. So emotionally, you want to be practical and grounded. And look at the details.
But what should he do?
Well, she said I should continue.
Oh, continue.
She said
because of the first one.
Clear, but you need to be cautious. Okay, so you need to be cautious and you need to align because here's the principles of manifestation. You can have what you want, you just have to be it first. Now, Neville says you have to live from the end. So right now with these particular cards, you're not creating success, you're creating
caution.
You're creating this particular card is energy like this. And this the 8 of Disc is cautious. So let me ask, should you continue with this project? And I got this particular card, which is the 3 of Wands. You got 3 threes, and this is the Empress. And this particular card is be true to yourself. I have Aries. I have virtue, integrity, and I'm not compromising who I am. So if you continue, you have to clean up those thoughts that you have to be aligned to do it. Because here's the thing about magnetic creation. living from the end means you need to visualize that. I mean, what do you want? Do you want a prize? Do you want a reward? What do you want from this art? Do you want recognition? You want to do more art? You have to look at what you truly want, and that's what you're putting out. Because right now, there's a cautiousness in the
act of creation.
State.
One thing that maybe he could do would be like to every day like visualize himself in his own art show in LA, meeting Johnny Depp, surrounded by people who are buying the art, who are looking at the art, like meeting stars who want to commission paintings like that. Is there another way to like live from the end?
One of my favorite and best of all best, the creme de la creme, is a process called Terma. And the Terma was a Tibetan word. This is a creating. And Jean Houston gave me this one. She just died, and she's a powerful luminary. So here's what you do. You put your hands like this. Yeah, whatever you desire. And you create a chi field. Now feel the energy in the hands. Move it back and forth.
And for the people who are listening, our hands are about like 6 inches apart, 12 inches apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving back and forth, like feeling that energy field between them.
This is how I brought in my partner. This is really a powerful, I'm giving the best, okay? This is the best. Okay, so you visualize, you have it like this, and you have the chi. So you imagine, if you don't feel it, just imagine a circle of energy in there. Now visualize what you truly desire. That can be, let's start with the basics. Vitality, health, feeling of abundance, contentment, peace inside, general well-being. Just feel that, and see the chi field empowering it. Now, if you want a specific thing, I'm publishing your art project, winning a reward, or being recognized in some way, whatever you feel like, you can put in your personal and with vivid details. When you visualize, you do not watch a movie. You are in it. So you have to see with your own eyes. This is very important.
So like you have to see yourself like going up and like shaking Johnny Depp's hand and like looking in his eyes and his face and being like, it's so wonderful to be here.
She doesn't know this, but he's the judge of the competition.
He's one of the judges.
And the thing is, like, that's it, exactly. And if you want a partner, you don't see yourself out there dancing. You see him sitting next to you. You see him in the car with you, and you're talking and you're laughing, or he's coming home, and you can also say things like, "Congratulations." Feeling that. How your best friend's voice tell you the words. Okay. So then you visualize, now you put it in your left hand, the whole manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in your left hand and feel the weight of it. Now I want you to find a place in your backyard, in a drawer, on a mountaintop, somewhere and I want you to bury it in the past, because that visualization was a manifestation in the past. This is a quantum healing process. So just bury it. I have this place inside my backyard. Okay, now bring your hands together again, and you do it like you'd never done it.
So we're gonna visualize again the same thing or a different thing?
The same thing.
Same thing.
But you can, you're new, so you do it. You paraphrase.
Right.
Well-being, healthy, vibrant, nurturing, feeling vital, abundance coming to you, beauty all around you, contentment, the right and perfect partner, whatever your desire is. I have my books I'm empowering the books. You're empowering your paintings or whatever your art is.
Mm-hmm.
Empower it. Infuse it with love and beauty and whatever your desires are. Get detailed. Feel it, see it, taste it, celebrate it. How would you feel if you won this award? Play that.
And so, like, should you feel like, say, you're like with health, you want to feel into your body, like how your body feels, like strong and like young and radiant. I mean, because you look very young. Have you been doing this for your radiance?
My favorite thing is embodied radiance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we can do that too, like bring in
vitality, youthfulness. I do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so then put it in your right hand. This is a teaching is it? Now, feel the weight of it. The whole manifestation is in your right hand. Now bury it in the future.
In the future? And same place or different place? Different place. Okay.
Some people put it in a drawer, some people, but most you could, like, you visited a place in the mountains somewhere, you can do that anywhere, but know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we do it the third time.
Okay.
This is for the present. So you do it again, like, because you're feeling it. You in order to manifest, you have to be there first, living from the end. The steps to getting there are being there. So you're going to be there. I'm healthy. I'm vibrant and youthful. I feel so content. My work is being seen. My art is being recognized. My podcast is expanding.
Mm-hmm.
My health is radiant. Money comes from many sources. Harmony and recognition, whatever your deepest heart's desire. And it's important to, like you were saying, Johnny Depp, it's important to go for the essence, not the form. So it's not good to put a form on it. So instead of saying, I want a tall, dark, handsome man, you just say, I want an attractive person. So that you don't, it's important not knowing when or who or how. And then if you really are stuck on something, say this or something better for me, God. So may this manifestation. So it's important to be in essence, not form.
So you can be like in your own physical body, like feeling into your physical body and like, or looking in the mirror and seeing yourself the way you want to look and feel and be, but it not be specific to like a particular person or place, but like the essence of it. Like I want to have
a feeling of abundance.
Yeah, like I want to have all my needs looked after.
Not $13, but abundance.
Yeah. Like that? Or $1 million.
But the thing is, sometimes we limit ourselves too. So it's more like I want to go to Stanford. I only want to go to Stanford. That it's limiting. I want to go to a good school. Whatever.
Like a top school.
It just limits the manifestation if you.
Yes.
And they tell us, look at the words. Let go of who, what, when, where, and how. So you don't even have to know how to do it. And you can't, when is another thing. So just essence, not form. Okay, so now we're bringing into this manifestation. So, and this is a really beautiful thing. So you put it into your, like, this is the soul star here. And then you put it on your head. And you feel the manifestation being buried in your body. You feel it trickling down into your body. So that is called a Terma, and it's a quantum manifestation. And we talked a lot, but you do it 3 times: the past, the future, and the present. That is a really, really powerful manifestation process.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you always bury it in the same places, like past and future?
You don't have
Or do you
to.
find different places?
You don't have to. I tend to put it in the same place, but you do not have to. They can be anywhere.
Because on the full moon, we buried some stuff in the backyard, and for manifestation, that was one of the.
That's where I put my past, was in that spot.
The past, yeah.
Did you put your stuff there too?
I put my stuff there too, in the same spot.
Where did you put your future stuff?
In the front yard.
Me too.
Oh,
Well, that's okay.
that's good.
I have a question. I think your book, The Awakening the Goddess Power.
Yeah, Awaken Female Power.
Awaken Female Power, the Goddess Warrior.
Yeah.
You wrote that. When did you write that?
I wrote it in the 80s, but it was published in 1990.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's so interesting because I feel like this, like the rise of the feminine power is really coming into awareness, like the last 5-6 years. And your book you wrote 30 years ago based on this awareness that's now just kind of coming into fruition. What do you make of that?
I was ahead of myself, they told me. And because of that persecution wound, didn't really come out. But I did sell a bunch of those books, and I probably sold 9,000 of those books, and that time was a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
especially for self-publishing in the 90s.
Self-published 9,000 books is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 1990.
Yeah.
Then what happened? I went in. I went in. I went deep in. I was climbing the mountains for the next 3 years. Going writing and speaking. So it's interesting how the path goes.
Yeah. And all of your books, I've noticed, are awaken and then something. You have, I think, awaken your inner radiance too.
So I have Awaken Female Power, Awaken a New Myth will come out after this book.
Okay.
That was what is the new myth? And it talks about the journey. And it's the first part of the hero's journey, which is, separating from the past. Then I have a book on the Awaken from Pain Body, which is, I told you, the 14 emotional patterns. And I have a book on Awaken from Mind, which is communications patterns, and Awaken Love, Awaken the Spiritual Warrior, Awaken the Sacred, and Awaken the Hero. These books are not finished. Awaken the Warrior, there's 3 that are
coming.
But the other ones are finished. They just need to come out.
Do you feel like when you're writing, like you're channeling messages? What's the, this sort of awakening? I mean, awakening seems to be a prominent theme.
I feel like when I read this, I say, who wrote this? It's certainly not my personality. It really, and you say that it's not the way you speak. Some of my writing can be very chatty, like like I'm talking to you, like it's very easy. And some are philosophical that, you do go into another space and there's and I feel like I'm a scribe for this archetype. This archetype became living for me. I was with it. I was working with the goddess. I started putting earrings on and putting a pretty blouse on and saying, I'm honoring the goddess. In the early years, that's what I would do. And then I wrote a book called Awaken the Inner Archetypes. I took each archetype and lived it. And it was amazing. When you work on that level, the outer world and the inner world become one. The synchronicity becomes interesting. So it's just when you deal with the archetypal world, the veils become very, very thin. So it's really an interesting synchronicity.
This has been a fascinating conversation. We feel so blessed that you came on the show and talked to us about this. You gave us our own reading, which is incredible.
What book should somebody start with if they want to awaken?
Well, the thing is that this book is the most appealing for the audience. I was driving.
Awaken Magnetic Creation.
Awaken Magnetic. If you want to learn to manifest and to create the world, because if you create, we're one, and if you create more, then it helps people. So to really create, we need to create a better world. And I just put out a little message. It's really important to focus on what you want to become, not what you want to overcome. So I had that on my dresser for years because, I like to report, and it's okay that you report, but it's really important to keep your mind on what you want to become, not what you want to overcome, because then you're proactive. And that's really important because we can't fight against something and change it. We have to really move toward what we want as far as manifesting. But I do think you should be politically active too. That's just my preference. But
yes. Where can people find
at our website?
And what's the website again?
It's called Soul, SOUL-SOURCE. .org. Soul.org.
Yeah.
Or the website.
KLaPuma.com.
Not K-A-Y, just K. Yeah.
Just the letter K.
K La Puma.
For Karina.
The sacred animal of the Amazon, the puma. That's
the Puma, La Puma.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We've just studied shamanism too now, so it's really wonderful. Yeah. The healing aspects of this.
I'm sensing Awaken the Healer Within is coming soon from you.
Thank you. That's a good that I'm writing one chapter on the medicine wheel for my Awaken a New Myth, because this book talks about what the evolutionary process is. And that is another whole journey, like the hero's journey, and then we have different other systems. There's a couple other systems that give a whole evolutionary process, and the medicine wheel is another.
You already wrote that in Awaken a New Myth?
Awaken a New Myth is done, but I'm going to add that chapter. Okay. It's coming out next. But more people want to manifest than to awaken their female power or to use the tarot. But if you want to be an intuitive, it's the tarot book. If you want to heal your emotional patterns, it's the Pain Body book.
You have something for everyone.
That's awesome. We look forward to having you back on the show when your next book is published, and we can't wait to talk to you.
Thank you. I really appreciate both of you. What warmth. It was so easy.
Oh, it was so lovely to connect with you. And thank you so much for all of your guidance. It was really, really special. Hey, before you sign off today, I wanted to invite you to an intimate group experience, a small group that Russell and I are curating. We're holding space for people who want to go deep. We're curating a beautiful experience with 2 other facilitators who are not just friends, but are family to us, and it will be happening in early November. This will be on the west coast of Canada, and it's going to be an incredible time to truly slow down, to get off your devices, a place to reconnect, and remember who you are beneath all of the noise of everyday life through art, therapy, yoga, meditation, breath work, and different embodiment practices, nature immersion. This weekend retreat will hold so much power and potential for your growth. This space will be held in a way that is truly there for your transformation, with care and guidance and the conditions for doing some very deep listening and deep healing work. I cannot wait to be offering this incredible experience to a very small group of lucky individuals who want to join us for this journey. So if you would like to be included in this journey or you want to know more, then please reach out to me. You know where to find me on Instagram, and I would love to share with you more details about dates, times, and places and costs for this incredible experience. That's it. We've concluded another episode of the Finding Harmony podcast. I just want to thank you so much for doing the work that changes the world, starting with yourself. It truly does make a huge difference. Please make sure you have your automatic downloads turned on wherever you listen so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. I have so much more magic I can't wait to share with you. Lastly, if you're on Instagram, I love connecting and hearing from you. So come on over and say hello at Finding Harmony Podcast. And you can also come say hello to me personally at Harmony Slater Official. Thank you again for being here. I cannot wait to share more with you in our next episode.